Welcome everyone and welcome to today's special video. For the past week I have been playing F122 Manager. I was given early access thanks to the guys at Frontier Developments who put this game together. They have a good backlog of games that they've worked on simulation wise. The Jurassic World Evolution games, Elite Dangerous and the Planet Coaster games as well. So yes, they have a good pedigree in this genre and I've got to say guys, I'm very, very impressed. Now, I won't be posting a full review until the day one patch has been released. I've been informed by the guys that some of the bugs that I have experienced, although very minor, will be addressed in the day one patch. So I think it's only fair that I reserve my overall thoughts on this game until that's released. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you a race that for me was the most exciting topsy-turvy up and down race that I had in the past week of playing. And guys, this is just, if you're an F1 nerd, you love the strategy element, you're intrigued by the day-to-day running of an F1 team, then this is the game for you. And this race just was peak of what this game is going to provide you. So setting the scene, we head to Saudi Arabia. We've just obviously done the first race at Bahrain. I'm in the McLaren team because I wanted to not start from the back of the grid with a team like Williams or shall we say Aston Martin, but I wanted to start with a team that was fighting in the midfield and could maybe pick up some decent results as well here and there. And slight underdog story, take them a little bit higher up the grid as we go throughout the season. But yeah, I'm not going to say much more else apart from that we started in 15th and 16th position, didn't have a good qualifying, and yeah, I'm going to let the rest of the race do the talking. So lo and behold, let's get into it. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and enjoy.
Clear skies tonight, with the drivers having now arrived at their grid positions. And there's Lando Norris. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. And behind them, it's Ricciardo. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. And we're just moments away now. It's almost time for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Okay, mate, nice one. Confirm.
So Lando makes a great start, overtaking Tsunoda round the outside, then the inside of the chicane, and then Daniel Ricciardo unfortunately lost a position. But we have both guys in attack mode at the start, not worrying about their tyres. Full ERS deployment. We want them to make up as many positions as possible, starting on the soft tyre. Varying strategies being run here up and down the field, so very interested. And these first few laps are very important. Try and gain many positions as we can as we're on board with Lando chasing down Mick Schumacher. And there we go, at the end of the first lap, Lando has overtaken two drivers up into P13. Great move there on the inside of Mick Schumacher at the last corner. Already making his way onto the back of Zhu, who is on the hard tyre. As you can see on the left-hand side, we are able to see what tyres each car is on and the percentage of tyre wear as well. Really important whether to know who to attack, who not to attack, who to defend. So just one of the many pieces of data that we have available to us to make informed decisions. Then we skip ahead to the end of the second lap, and Norris is all over Zhu at this moment in time. He's deploying his ERS. Can he make it stick into the last corner like he did to Mick Schumacher the lap before? He's trying around the outside and he just doesn't have enough. Has to back out of the throttle, otherwise he would have ended up in the wall.
DRS is enabled. DRS is enabled now.
So DRS now enabled, but unfortunately we have run out of ERS battery deployment in Norris's car. So we've had to switch that back to neutral so that he can begin to harvest some of that energy back. We don't want him in complete harvesting mode because we want to stay on the back of this little gaggle in front. We also reduce his aggressiveness down to just aggressive, down from attack, just to look after those tyres just a little bit more. We still think he's got enough to overtake Zhu on pace on the soft tyre, so no need to take out more tyre wear than we need to. So we jump back on board with Daniel Ricciardo to see how he's getting on. He's in 16th position where he started on the hard tyre, running split strategies here between Lando and Daniel. He wasn't as quick in practice or qualifying and just biding his time, and it seems that Tsunoda and Mick Schumacher have gone side by side for that chicane. So we deploy, we tell him to use deploy to attack Tsunoda here, try and capitalise on that closing of the gap. Through the last corner, a little bit tense on the throttle. DRS enabled. He closes the gap, but Tsunoda's got the run on Mick Schumacher as well. Tsunoda's regained his position from Mick. Can we capitalise here and take Mick Schumacher on the inside? They go side by side. Hanging it around the outside. Can he hold it? He's ahead. And yes, he can. He's taken the position from Mick Schumacher. Brilliant work. Brilliant work from Daniel. Now time to crack on and take on Tsunoda. Let's go into full attack mode.
Let's try and push up.
Okay.
As we come out of the first fast chicane, Daniel is all over Tsunoda. The attack mode fully engaged. Comes around here and he's side by side through the second fast chicane. What a move! That's the Daniel Ricciardo we know. Up into P14, 2 positions gained in 1 lap. Happy days.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
So as we cross 6 laps undertaken, we can see that the top 7 cars there are nicely spread, and then there's a real gaggle from 8th position, the Alpines, back to Mick Schumacher. We're right in the middle of that. So time to go and have a look at our strategies, see how they're performing. We go to Lando. I actually forgot to put the optimal strategy, selected a 2-stop, soft to hards, and then to mediums. We can see that blue line or blue area there, that indicates our pit zone, with the white line indicating the optimal lap for pitting. So as we look at the overall leaderboard, as we pause it, we can see here the gains and the people who have lost. We're sitting in 13th and 14th position with all the tyre wear. Lando is quickly moving through his soft tyres. We need him to make up some gaps here or some positions, and Daniel at 87% is doing quite nicely on those hards. But as we rejoin, he is under pressure from Tsunoda, falling back from Lando in front. So Daniel and Tsunoda actually trade positions a couple of times on that lap as we jump ahead one lap, and Lando's pit window has opened, as you can see from that white line in the strategy box hitting the blue zone. So what we're going to do is we are going to pit him as soon as we can to get out into some clean air. If we check the bird's eye view here, there's a nice gap in front of Vettel that will give us the free air that we require. So we're coming to the end of the lap. We can see how bunched up it is, especially as we head into this last corner. Pitting before our optimal lap, but it needs to be done.
Alpha Tower regained a place.
Once again, Tsunoda and Ricciardo continuing to trade positions, but we head into the pits for the first of a two stop.
Okay, understood.
Onto the
And
hards.
just remind you to use the pit limiter in the pit lane.
So you're P13. We've made good progress.
Understood.
Here's the replay. Now just take a look at the McLaren.
So as planned, Norris came out ahead of Stroll, the Aston Martins, 11 seconds behind Mick Schumacher. But then the worst thing for us can happen. Disaster strikes. There is a red flag.
Daniel, box this lap. Red.
Let's have a look. Now look at this. It was the Alpha Tauri driver involved. They've lost control, and there's the crash. And that was a bitter blow for the team, and it may have really hurt their overall chances.
So multiple cars caught up in that incident there with Gasly, but unfortunately only one car was retired. The others are able to repair their cars and change their tyres, which does not suit us whatsoever, as we said with Lando. So what we've done is we have changed the strategy for Daniel onto a two-stop now with a set of fresh mediums. It's much quicker than sticking to the hards and pitting just to the mediums later on. We've got a restart where we need to make up as many places as possible, so we're taking Lando off the fresh hards as well. We've got two sets of mediums to use, fresh ones, and try and make up as many places on the restart that we can.
Not for the first time today, the drivers are lined up, awaiting the lights. And it's lights out! And away we go!
And Lando once again makes a brilliant start on the restart, up 2 positions, jumping Ricciardo into 14th position, and he's already on the back of Mick Schumacher.
Let's try and push up.
Okay, understood.
So we skip forward 1 lap to lap 15. Danny Rick has got past Stroll behind. He's made up that position which he lost at the start. And Norris is right on the back of Mick Schumacher. Daniel is on the back of Norris. We're trying and hoping that they don't take each other out. They're both on full attack mode. I need them to get past this Haas as quick as possible to make ground up on the cars in front. And Lando goes on the inside. What a move through that chicane. I always hold my breath whenever that happens. It happened earlier on in the race as well. But hopefully Danny Rick can make short work of Mick Schumacher as well into the last corner. We do have DRS down the main straight. We're going to flick Danny Rick into overtake, use his battery. DRS and battery should hopefully get an easy pass around Mick Schumacher, and he does it. In the background of your screen there, you can see he has easily got past Mick Schumacher. Clean air behind Lando now. Both of them can push on and hopefully make their way into the points. So we jump forward half a lap and Lando is all over the back of Tsunoda. Danny Rick has dropped back just a little bit and doesn't seem to have the pace of Lando, but Lando is really attacking Tsunoda here. He's on full attack mode. DRS open. Tsunoda has it as well. The cars in front are still quite bunched up, down from 4th position to where we are now. There's not a lot in it. Can he get the job done here? We're going to go on the board with Lando, see if he can do something. Doesn't seem like he can. Too far back into the first corner here. And oh my God, what was that? What a move by Lando. I'm actually in shock. That was unbelievable. Talk about confidence on the brakes, guys. You expect that from Daniel Ricciardo. Let's go have a look. Yeah, Crofty, let's have a look at that back. Oh my God, late dive to the inside. Talk about commitment.
Moving up a place there. Excellent work from them. Back in the garage, the team absolutely loved it.
So Lando wasn't done there. He kept on going, was quickly on the back of Magnussen. Chucks it down the inside at the last corner. And makes it stick. Happy days up to P11. This is the Lando we like to see. Really aggressive. Looks like he's got the run on Alonso. No, it's Ocon. Oh my God. He might have cut the corner a little bit there, but it looks like he's taken 3 cars in 2 corners. He's just overtaken Ocon and Zhu into T1. Oh my God. Lando, you absolute beauty. So Lando is now leading this gaggle of cars from 9th to 13th. And we jump a little bit later on in the lap. And now he is the one being chased. Everyone has DRS behind him. We decide to switch him into defend on his battery mode, but unfortunately it's just a touch too late. Zhu dives up the inside and takes the position, but thankfully we keep hold of 10th position from Ocon behind. We've now got DRS. Can we get the position straight back? Yes, we can, with the help of DRS, and they're now fighting behind. So hopefully back to neutral. Build up the battery mode again, and hopefully we can pull away from that DRS line.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
So after a couple of laps of heroic defending into the first corner, we join Lando being chased hard by Zhu and Ocon. Unfortunately, this time around, Lando's battery just doesn't quite have enough to defend here from the charging Alfa Romeo. He just pokes his nose in and forces Lando wide of the apex of the last corner. And then it's a nice, easy DRS overtake by Zhu. And then Ocon is also having his part side by side through the first corner, through the second. Still side by side. Can Lando hold on to it?
Good move, good move.
Unfortunately, no. He has to give. So it's hard being at the front of that pack when it's so DRS heavy around here. But now to get his head back down. Put him into standard mode. Try and look after those tyres just a little bit longer. Use the DRS to drag himself along. Shouldn't be threat Magnussen and Tsunoda behind. Skipping ahead 11 laps and a bit of chopping and changing from position. Lando is still out in front, leading this pack in 9th position. But once again, keeps coming under attack into the last corner. Multiple DRS zones down that back straight. 0 battery mode to defend here. Zhu going for the move on the inside. Lando defends outside and inside line and holds the position for another lap at least. And in the background we have Daniel Ricciardo pitting. During this period of time he has been chopping and changing position with Mick Schumacher for 14th place, around 5 seconds behind this pack. So not long after Daniel pitting, we decide to do the same for Lando. He is continually under attack here from that pack behind. He's got very little battery mode left to defend into the first corner, and we decide to bring him in a lap before his optimal lap. We take a quick glance at the overhead shot to see if he's going to come out in clean air, which he will, just in front of Daniel Ricciardo, and that way he can race to the end on a fresh set of softs. Pushing them a little bit, it's going to be tight, but the quickest tyre should hopefully allow us to get ahead of that pack and secure a points finish. So we jump ahead 5 laps, running in clean air, and then a yellow flag comes out. And very quickly, guys, once again, it jumps to a red flag, and on our right hand side you can see a Haas stranded in the middle of the track.
Red flag, red flag.
We can take a look now. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here.
No!
The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
Once again, a red flag has absolutely shafted us. We pitted 5 laps before, Daniel Ricciardo 6. With the other cars not pitting yet, they've had the opportunity to maintain track position, their positions on track, and put a new set of fresh tyres on, which is the soft tyre. So it is going to be a straight shootout to the end of the race.
Where we left off, as the race restarts. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And once again, Lando makes a great start, nabbing a position off of Mick Schumacher. This is a boy who feels aggrieved at the 2 red flags, pretty much doing him over. He's already onto the back of Tsunoda. Danny, Rick and Norris both in full attack mode. We have plenty of fuel remaining as well. And Danny Rick sends it up the inside of Mick Schumacher and follows Lando through. A great start by the Macca boys.
We've made good progress. Okay, gotcha.
McLaren gain a position.
Lando is all over the back of Tsunoda, but he just can't get the job done this lap. DRS still not enabled Very little battery mode to use. But under that hard braking into the first corner, we get a nice amount of recharge into the battery. So we decide to stick him into overtake with a couple of DRS zones coming up down the back straight.
100% pace.
But while Lando is chasing Tsunoda, Danny Ric is all over the back of him. He's got much fresher tyres. Lando only had warm softs to be able to go onto. I really hope they don't crash into each other. There's no team orders going on here. They're trying to chase the points positions. And Lando's gone up the inside again. That's the third time he's done it. That might be the third time he's done it to Tsunoda this race as well. A favourite position of his, so now we chuck Danny Ric into overtake, try and capitalise on Tsunoda being out of shape. But actually Tsunoda comes back at us. He comes back at Lando on the inside of the last corner. And with once again not a lot of battery mode available, Lando is not able to fight back and he's under pressure from Danny Ric. Oh guys, please don't crash, and thankfully he slots in just behind. This is all very tense. 6 laps remaining of this race. What else does this race have in store for us?
%100% pace now. Yeah, confirm.
Once again, Lando has been told to use the overtake. He's going to make a move up the inside. And he swoops up the inside of Tsunoda. But can he hold on to it? A couple of DRS zones coming up. Does he have enough battery mode left? We don't think so, so we put him back into standard neutral. Try and build up some battery under braking. The very little braking that there is through those fast chicanes. We go on board with Danny Ric chasing down Tsunoda. Can he help Lando out by taking Tsunoda's eye of Lando in front and make him look in his mirrors? No battery available to either of our drivers. Tsunoda's going up the outside of Lando and Danny Ric decides he'll have some as well. Little bit deep into the first corner, but he goes through and they're side by side. Oh my god, guys. And Danny Ric still hasn't got that position from Lando. Lando was like, oh no you don't. And we go again. Here comes Lando again. Going for the same move as last lap, and he does it. He chucks it up the inside of the big swooping left-hander past Tsunoda. Well, we all know how this has gone before. Can he hold on to it? Third time's a charm. Danny Ric eyeing up the position here as well. Can he relieve this pressure from Lando? He's all over the back of him. How they're not crashing into each other, I do not know. We go on board with Danny Ric. Nice little gap behind. No need to worry about Mick Schumacher. Is he going to go for the move? Yes, he does. He chucks it up the inside. And leaves no room for Tsunoda. Can he maintain it into the first corner? No DRS available to Danny Ric, but he holds on to it.
5 laps to go.
Oh, he's actually overtaken Norris. In all of that palaver, I got the two mixed up. Danny Ric has overtaken Norris because Norris did not have DRS.
Gain a position.
We jump ahead a couple of laps, and Danny Rick actually lost that position back not too long after from Norris, and due to a mistake from Ocon, Norris was granted the position of P9. So we are fighting for 2 points finishes here in the closing 2 laps of this race. Danny Rick is all over the back of Ocon. What can he do? Full attack mode on. Go on board, DRS open, but that Alpine has such straight line speed, it's ridiculous. He's closing in on Lando, who has no DRS, very minimal battery to use for defence here. Down the back straight, going into the last corner. And we come onto the last lap. Bit of snap oversteer from Danny Rick there. Soft tyres being worn down now, and Ocon easily goes past Lando here, and so does Danny Rick. Danny Rick has done it again. Lando was just a sitting duck, no DRS open, no battery to utilise, and Danny Rick breezes past into P10. Lando must be fuming behind that wheel. This race looked like it was going to be his. He was going to make the headlines, but unfortunately those red flags have got in the way. Lando, I don't think you are, but fair play for coming on the radio and saying that. We come on to the last stretch of the track. Lap 50 of 50. What can Danny do? Everything is engaged, draining the battery. We go on board. Can he pull out something? A last late lunge to combat that Alpine straight line speed. He is gaining. He is slowly but surely, but he doesn't quite have enough battery remaining. Only 9%. Lando is out of this race. He is going to finish outside the points unless something dramatic happens in the last corner. Ocon defends. Danny thinks about it. But clever positioning of the car from Ocon there. Round the last corner. Down the main straight. And a P10 for Danny Rick. Well done, guys. Unfortunately, not the race we wanted. We got completely outdone by the red flags. Lando must be fuming because he really had the potential for a top 5 finish here. Bottas finished in P5 ahead of George Russell. That is the potential that we had in this car today. But my God, what an eventful race.
A reasonable performance in today's race from Daniel Ricciardo. McLaren showed some good stuff here today, but they'll be building on that now to try and improve their results next time.
Yep, plenty for them to think about and strategize, and certainly a good enough result for now.
The end this weekend in 5th place in the constructor standings.
And for the next round, Formula One is heading down under. Exciting times ahead in Australia on the shores of the Albert Park Lake.
And there we go, guys. What did you think of that? Not a bad experience for the first week in F122 Manager, eh? God, 2 red flags, shafted by both of them as they came out just after we did our pit stops. Lando deserves so much better in that race, but happy for Danny Rick to get that point for Team McLaren. Yeah, had a little bit of everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Of course, we touched on the mechanic of the game here. I will be doing more of a deeper dive into them in the coming weeks. Of course, we will wait for our full review as well once the day 1 patch is released, and we'll be doing a top tips video as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button as well, and turn those notifications on if you want to see more F122 content for when I'm notified and when I go live as well, because I have all intentions of streaming this and doing a series with the community and you guys an interactive series where we make the decisions together as a team. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. See you all next time. Bye.